What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Hometowns Week for Joey's season of The Bachelor. Crazy to think we are already only about 3 weeks away from the finale of The Bachelor season 28. Joey's season, it's been a nice and crazy journey so far as it is every season, but we are nearing the end. Hometowns this week, 4 ladies remain. Let's hop right in. Now, first, just want to say I apologize to Kelsey's hometown date here. Unfortunately, on my end of the world over here, ABC, any of my streaming services, none of them wanted me to start watching The Bachelor this week, right on time at 8 o'clock. So I was in about 15 minutes, 17 minutes after the start of the episodes. I missed that good, 30-second, cold open at the beginning of the episode that Robert Mills was teasing on Twitter before. I missed the good part of the date portion I missed all of the date portion, what am I saying, of Kelsey's hometown date. And yeah, so I missed all of that, but I was able to get in at the end of Kelsey's date, so that's kind of where we'll start here. I was able to, kind of peek around, didn't want it to be an incomplete review. It looks like during the day portion there in New Orleans, they were riding tandem bikes like she did with her mom, and another touching moment that it seems like everyone got emotional from, and I definitely would have been, crying my eyes out too if I saw this live, and I'm sure when I go back and rewatch it, I will be. Apparently, she saw a butterfly, and obviously that she talked about a couple episodes ago that makes her think of her mom, and just shows that she's watching her journey currently. Now, where we jump in, at least over here in our household, Joey tells her dad that he wants all his words to be authentic and real, basically, and that his feelings are real is what he can tell her to this point. Because obviously he said, obviously in a normal situation, you're only dating one girl, not, 4 girls. But overall, her dad seems reassured after that conversation with Joey. Kelsey is emotional talking to her dad about how good he treated her mom, and that's what she's looking for. And Kelsey ends up telling her dad that she thinks she's in love. Overall, seemed like the date went well and that her family approves of Joey. Now we hop over to Rancho Cucamonga, Rachel's hometown, hometown. Obviously, she's from Hawaii, and both her and Joey have that Hawaii connection as Joey lived there for some years. Rachel thinks she's close to being in love, but haven't said it yet because she wants to obviously see how he meshes with her family. Joey was really able to dive right in, doing a lot of different things from Rachel's culture as they kind of have a little backyard party, and it seems like he was able to fit right in. Rachel talks to her dad and opens up about how she's happy with him, and even though she's been hurt in the past, talked about how she was actually almost engaged in her previous relationship and got hurt, but her dad tells her to keep it even keel, don't get too high, don't get too low, and keep it going. Joey and Rachel's mom talk. She gets emotional talking about Rachel and how she's been hurt in the past. It seems like that was a really emotional time for Rachel, that previous relationship that she was referring to. And overall, like they all do, Rachel's mom just wants the best for her. And, Joey completely gets that. Rachel's mom gets emotional as well, talking to Rachel and, just telling her to kind of guard her heart. Obviously, with still 3 other women besides her left, in this situation. Joey said he's nervous talking to Rachel's family because he can tell they might not fully believe in the process. Rachel tells Joey how even though her family is skeptical, but that she's choosing Joey and that she is falling in love with him. Now we go to Daisy's hometown. We head to the Christmas tree farm. Joey sees himself falling in love with her and could see himself getting engaged to her. Daisy won't say it though until she sees how he meshes with her family. In Daisy's family's old Christmas tree farm, they take a carriage ride, make an ornament or a little wish for a wish tree. They get some hot cocoa, they feed some llamas. Overall, a good time. Daisy can see it with him for the rest of her life, just needs that validation again from her parents. Daisy's friend joins them, and she opens up about how the way Joey has treated her makes her feel differently, kind of changed her perspective overall, as she's, said kind of at the end of this portion of the date on her life. And, with everything that's happened with her cochlear implant and her health and everything, and she now knows what she deserves and expresses how happy she is given how Joey's, treated her and what she's gained from this process. Show up to meet her family. I guess there's still voices that, Daisy can't really hear, that they don't, sound the same as they did before. And when her brother talks, she gets a little emotional because it sounds as it does before. She got her cochlear implant and had all her health issues, so that was a touching moment there and really cool to see. Her mom asked Joey if they've said I love you. He said how she's not able to express those feelings until after today, meeting the family, see how, everything goes. On that front, she feels that Joey truly does love her, but that she's not being fully vulnerable yet with him. Daisy said she's worried she won't be able to express it to him and that she'll lose him. Her mom wants her to take those walls down. She then talks to her dad. He tells her similar things, that if she thinks she's falling in love with him as she thinks she is, he said, shoot that shot. If you hit it, you get all the marbles. And he makes a little joke saying, what's the worst that can happen? Like, you're not going to lose your hearing. I thought that was a, funny moment between them. Now, after they head outside, before Joey leaves, she does finally tell him that she's been falling in love with him. Now, heading to the final hometown date of the week, they head to Niagara Falls from Maria's hometown. They go on a boat ride through Niagara Falls. Maria brings Joey a shot of maple Canadian whiskey, and so that sounds like a good time to me. I love me some whiskey, and I love me some Canadian maple. Joey tells her last time they were together, she scared him a little bit with her almost walking away. She said she's there to stay and wouldn't be bringing Joey to meet her family if she didn't think so, because Maria has never brought anyone home to her family. Joey's a little concerned because on one end he's like, oh, how, sweet that's, her first time bringing someone home and it's him. But then also he's like, how have you gone this long without opening yourself up and, meeting, bringing someone to meet your family? Joey seems a little, I don't know the word for it at the dinner table while her dad is talking. Maybe just, kind of made it seem like a little awkward. I don't know if that's editing or that was kind of the vibe at the table overall. But her dad's just talking, saying how she hasn't ever brought anyone home to him and doesn't want her to get hurt. Maria's sister, I believe it is, says that she thinks she, can hold back when she has strong feelings. But Joey and her dad have a conversation, and Maria's dad just says, if you tell me you're falling for her and you're telling 3 other women, it doesn't hold a lot of weight. Joey chimes in a conversation which, kind of editing wise seemed like it wasn't going well. That's what they made it seem like. But then Joey chimes in and says how she has opened up that, was, starting to fall in love, but how he hasn't expressed those feelings because he wants his words to mean something and, hold weight. So he doesn't see how you can say it to 4 people. And, Maria's dad respects that and, appreciates that from him. Joey does ask for his blessing because obviously he won't see them again, if it is Maria and he chooses Maria and Maria chooses him, if it would be all right if they were to get engaged and he were to propose to her. And her dad tells him, if Maria chooses you and you choose her, then he's here for it. They'll have a big Greek-Italian wedding and have a good old time. Then Maria and her dad talk, and he tells her how she's glowing and tells her to put her guard down, and if it doesn't work, at least you gave it your all. They put a little home movie for them together to watch outside, kind of Maria when she was younger and a kid, and they're all kind of watching from the window as they're sitting there watching it in the backyard, it looks like. She said to the camera that she's falling in love with him. She goes to tell him and wants to tell him, but she's holding back and just tells him that I appreciate you being here. And afterwards, she immediately regrets it. Now we're kind of getting to this point where we're heading to the rose ceremony. We have quite a bit of time, so you're wondering, is something going to happen? And don't worry, something will happen. So we're back in LA in the old plane hangar, and there's been some memorable rose ceremonies and moments here throughout Bachelor Nation history. It seems like the last handful of seasons, we've had the hometown rose ceremony here. I believe this is also the same hangar where Peter and Hannah Brown that is, had Peter's hometown date back on Hannah Brown's season of The Bachelorette. But all that aside, let's hop in. All the ladies walk in, and just as Joey is getting ready to hand out the first rose, Maria interrupts, says, Joey, can I talk to you for a second? Then, boom, cuts a commercial. Maria tells Joey that she didn't leave the last conversation with them how she wanted and wants to let him know that she's falling in love with him. She heads back and Rachel says, what was that about, Maria? And she was like, I don't know. And Rachel was like, what do you mean you don't know? You just interrupted him right there in the middle of the rose ceremony. And Maria says, I just did what I had to do in the moment. I'll tell you one day. Now, Daisy, Kelsey, and Rachel all get roses. So Maria's going home. It seems like he had a really good connection with Maria, but overall, I think just the, uncertainty of where Maria was at all times and, his biggest fear of being, of choosing someone at the end of this and them not choosing him, I think is what really did it in for that relationship. And Joey, as he walks her out, tells her, said he thought it would be dishonest to move forward with the amount of doubts he had. And I'll hop on the train, hop on the bandwagon. I've been on it for a while. I thought Maria would go far, and I said that if she doesn't get chosen, I think she'd be a great pick for Bachelorette. And I do think she'd be a fantastic pick for Bachelorette. Any of these ladies would be if Joey didn't pick them. All four of them are, really likable, and I think would do fantastic on a season of The Bachelorette should they not end up with Joey. But Maria is, just an honest person. She tells it how it is, and, she's authentically herself. If she can open up, I think she'd be a great Bachelorette. Should she want to, and should the show want her to, which the show should definitely want her, that should be their first call as of right now. Obviously, we don't know what happens these last, 4 weeks here, but that should be their first call. If you go over to Bachelor Data over on Instagram, look at their stuff all the time. They are absolutely fantastic over there. Go check them out. But I believe Maria and Daisy have had insane growth. Daisy is a little bit ahead of Maria, but over the last handful of seasons, they've both seen substantial growth. So there's obviously an interest there. People would tune in to see, and this is obviously like a third, season in a row where it seems like things are getting back to how they should be in terms of how the show is, going and what the show is focusing on. And this season especially, it seems like there's a renewed interest in the show. So would like to see that going forward, and I hope if all parties want to, I think Maria would make a good Bachelorette. Now we get the preview for next week. Fantasy Suites week. It looks like the Golden Ladies are on next week to offer up some advice to the remaining 3 ladies. And man, the trailer looks wild. We got Fantasy Suites. Looks like we got a little emotion. It looks like Joey tells someone that, he's beginning to fall in love with them. And then it looks like we're finally getting the scene that we've seen teased a couple times about someone that puts a note in Joey's door, how he says can change everything. Who knows what it is? Is it from one of the final 3? Is it from Maria? Is it from someone else? I don't know. We don't know over here. Don't know any spoilers over here. Just, speculating who it is. I'm assuming it's from one of the, final 3 ladies there, obviously. But I guess we'll just have to wait until next Monday and see. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.